Welcome, nerds and nerdettes, to the Status Effect Podcast, a show where three friends gather each week to talk about games.
And do 3 intros, apparently.
And do 3 intros because we were bad at this.
Thanks, Audacity.
The Holy
You're the
Trinity.
best.
It's so religious.
This is as the prophecy foretold.
My name's Michael. To my right is Justin.
Hello.
And to my left is Zach.
Hello, my name is Inigo Montoya. You killed my father. Prepare to die.
It's definitely not as funny the third time.
No, but I had to do it because it's so good.
Way to stick with the joke, Zach.
It's
Oh,
so
man.
good.
It is pretty good.
It's a great movie.
I have no idea what we're going to be talking about today. We're just going to kind of riff a little bit, talk about games in general.
Yep.
There will be time codes in the description below, so if you guys are interested in a certain topic that we cover, feel free to jump straight to that. But first, let's go to our first segment. What are you playing?
Nice. That was seamless, dude.
Was it? Okay,
Great.
cool.
Much better than the first time.
Yeah.
Glad
Cool.
we're improving at something here
Yes.
today.
We're
Right?
making strides.
Yeah.
Justin, go first.
Okay. So first, I want to talk about a game
Mm-hmm.
that I've talked about before, but not exactly.
Okay.
Monster Hunter, but not Monster Hunter. Poor man's Monster Hunter, which I will
It's
call
very cryptic.
Well, I call it poor man's Monster Hunter, but it's actually called Dauntless, right?
Okay.
But I can't think of another way to describe it.
No,
to
you're
you
right. Yeah, you're
other
right.
than it is a Monster Hunter clone.
Okay.
But that's not a bad thing, right? Because Monster Hunter is a good game, and this is a clone of a good
one of the
thing.
few
that you
So
have
it's
on
a good-
that you can
it's
play
a
on
good clone.
PC.
Right, which is the other awesome thing about it.
Mm-hmm.
So this game has been in closed beta for a while. I remember signing up back in like November, October, or something of last year,
Yep.
and didn't get in. Kind of forgot about it, and it just came out earlier this week, released into open beta. So
Okay.
while it's still kind of rough around the edges, especially things like the UI and things, I was really amazed with how polished the gameplay and the movement especially is. I can't think of another early access game that feels this good, even compared to like PUBG, right? Which is a full release now. This game
Yeah.
feels so much better than that. It feels so much more polished. Like the things that are there, and there aren't as many weapons as in Monster Hunter. There aren't, traps. You don't have throwable items as far as I can tell or anything like that. There are much fewer monsters. But the things that are there are polished to the point where it feels like an actual game and not some like cash grab early access garbage, right?
That's cool.
So I'm just really excited by the potential this game has. Like the idea of a Monster Hunter that can get continual updates and
Yeah.
can grow over time, that to me is really exciting.
Now, what differs it from Monster Hunter? Or how does it differ from Monster Hunter?
Well, it's not obviously it's missing content compared to Monster Hunter. That's the biggest thing, right?
Okay.
But it's not finished, so
It's right,
Right.
exactly. But I mean, going into it expecting it to be exactly like Monster Hunter, no. The other thing I would say, it seems to have a bigger emphasis on team play. Monster Hunter is kind of a game where even if you're in a party, you're kind of just like 4 dudes gangbanging a monster. It's not really. It's
We've
like-
all been there.
Yeah, I think we have.
Oh boy.
That girl is definitely a monster, but
Wow.
it's
took
not
it to
really a
another
thing.
level.
Yeah, that was too dark for me.
I'm sorry.
I'm out.
So
Stepping
yeah,
back.
Monster Hunter. Like if you're playing as a group, a lot of times it feels like you're playing solo. Just there are other people around. There's
Okay,
not
yeah.
a whole lot of like interaction. There's not a whole lot of things that Monster does that requires you to work together in a particular way, other than just the monster's looking at this guy, so I'm gonna hit it in the butt.
And we are
Sorry
12
about
years
that.
old.
Sorry about that one. Okay, but in Dauntless, some of these monsters have like additional mechanics. Like I've seen one that he has like a ball, like a dark thing he summons. No, that one was clean. That one was perfectly clean. And you have to work as a group to kill this
God,
thing.
guys, come on.
Shut up, Wesley.
I'm not talking about you.
I'm
talking about
explaining.
them.
You guys are babies. So you have to kill this thing before it explodes or do something bad or whatever.
Come
That's not
on,
even-
guys. That go.
I can't help it now. You got me giggling.
You guys are idiots.
Oh, man.
Okay.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Dauntless is good though. Okay.
Dauntless is good though.
Okay.
Sure, yep.
There's more of an emphasis, like I'm saying, on team-based stuff. It feels like you have to interact more with your teammates to actually get a monster killed than you do in Monster Hunter, where
Okay.
it really... Okay, I was going to say it feels masturbatory. But I'm not going to say that now, because...
You did already.
Did
so it's
already
done.
sexual jokes in a row.
This is the best one ever.
Oh, my God. I'm sorry.
All right.
This is better than Charizard
Next.
Erotica, right?
Yeah, I'll go next.
Next.
Probably.
So I'm gonna talk.
I said so much more on the first take. I'm
Yeah, it
sorry.
was so
Maybe
good.
we'll put some of that in there.
I played a party game
Cool.
So it's similar to Cards Against Humanity.
You
It's
play
called
Smash Brothers?
What Do You Mean?
Oh.
Mario Party?
No. Actual cards that you hold.
Whoa.
Yeah. What do you
What are those?
meme?
I forgot we
what do
covered
you? I have to
those.
say the title when you aren't talking. What do you meme? Is the name of the game.
Okay.
It's pretty much a carbon copy of Cards Against Humanity, except instead of the black cards that give you like scenarios or fill in the blanks, it gives you a meme with no caption. So basically, you're giving the caption to the meme.
Mm-hmm.
I think that on some levels, it's even better than Cards Against Humanity because it allows for more creativity and pretty much every meme picture card thing is hard to describe because it's bigger than a normal card. But it lends itself more to every card you have in your hand than Cards Against Humanity. A lot of the times you end up with a hand of cards in Cards Against Humanity that you felt like didn't apply to any other cards.
Yeah.
I felt like that wasn't as big of a deal, but we had like 8 or 9 people playing it, and it was super fun, and we laughed a whole lot. And I mean, it's a feel-good game.
I wish those games had more strategy to them, like as someone that plays
It's
Magic
not-
and stuff. I get
yeah,
that. No,
I know,
no,
but
I
it's
get
not
it.
like a winning
but, like,
game.
you end up with so many dead cards. Like I would love it if you could. I don't know. Like
I think you can. I think there's,
exchange
yeah,
cards
I
or
think in this
something like
one
that.
you can trade in cards you trade in like 4 to get in 3 or something like that. I think.
Okay.
But we
That's
didn't really take
interesting. I like
advantage of
that.
that one
Yeah.
as much. But at the same time, you didn't get as much of that dead
Yeah.
card in your hand
Mhm.
because there were only like I think there were like 2 or 3 cards that I felt like, wow, I don't have anything for this out
Right.
of the 20 or 50. Or
That's what
20 or
I can't
30
stand that about Cards Against Humanity. I feel like
Yeah.
I'm so much funnier than the cards that I just
Yeah.
like. If I
Well-
don't have Big Black Dick in my hand, it's like why am I even playing this game? You know?
There's not as many like power cards as in Cards Against Humanity that just like win
That's a good way to
everything.
describe
I mean, it
them.
is
Yeah,
true.
no,
if you
you're
play
right.
those, if you play Pac-Man,
We're talking about Cards Against Humanity on a strategic level right now, and I
If
want you
you-
to know that I appreciate that on a deep level.
If you play Pac-Man uncontrollably guzzling cum, you win.
Most of the time,
Most
yeah.
of the time,
and,
yeah.
and that's the
Yeah,
thing.
yeah.
The context doesn't even matter. Like it doesn't matter that it's clever
Right.
with the.
That's
the
what I
setup
liked
card.
about What Do You... I can't believe we're talking about this. What Do You Meme is that it lends itself more to what's actually funny instead
Yeah.
of, oh, I have this card.
I just have the best card.
Yeah. Because I think the one that I liked the best was the meme of the fat seal, like looking like he's kind of
That's
sad.
a good one. Yeah,
It's a
that's
good one. And someone played when your mom walks in on you practicing a blowjob on a cucumber.
Yikes. Yikes.
This episode is definitely not safe for work.
This is probably our dirtiest one.
I think
Woo!
so.
It'd be a lot of bleeping out.
Yeah.
That's not gonna
well,
be
I'm
fun.
not gonna bleep any of this stuff.
No, don't believe any of it.
I'm not
dude.
bleeping anything. We haven't said any naughty
Raw,
words.
uncut.
That's true. That
we,
is true.
we only bleep
We are
naughty
not
words.
explicit
We
yet.
don't bleep sexual content or violence here, okay? Because we're an American channel, all right?
Free
so we
speech.
stand
I
up
don't remember.
for
I don't remember
American
signing
principles.
that agreement. Okay,
I just made it up.
Michael, what's your game of the week?
I've been playing a couple things, mostly Mega Man Legacy Collection, which I think I talked about last week. But I just want to say that I curb stomped Mega Man 1.
Nice.
Yeah, you talked about
Beat it
you were
into the
stuck on
ground.
Yellow Devil, right? How
Yeah,
did that
he was
go?
Is
super
that what
hard.
is that what you posted on Twitter? You posted something on Twitter.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because all I saw was I'm a god, and I was like, oh, I ain't
And I
watching that.
posted a video clip of me wrecking the Yellow Devil.
Nice, dude.
It was so good. So I'm on Mega Man 2, and I'm blazing through that because it's a cakewalk compared to
For
1.
people who don't know, Yellow Devil's kind of cheap.
He is pretty cheap.
After Michael talked about it last week, I went over and played at his place, and the Yellow Devil kind of like has a bunch of blobs that fly at you off screen in some kind of pattern that you kind of have to memorize because
Yep.
it's basically unreactable. I don't see how you could possibly do it.
Really?
Yeah, so he's pretty cheap, and I think beating him is quite an accomplishment.
I
Proud
was
of you.
so proud. The other thing I've been playing, the demo came out yesterday, I think, right?
Oh yeah, I gotta play that. I gotta play
Mario Tennis Aces.
that. Yeah.
It's really good. I'm
Yeah.
very surprised about how they made a tennis game fun.
Let's talk about that a little bit. Like, how do you? I've seen maybe if you haven't already, check out the video for the campaign or whatever they're calling it.
Yeah,
The-
that's
the-
interesting. Yeah, that's
It's
not included in
really
the demo.
weird.
But
How do you make a tennis game into like an adventure mode? They did it somehow. They
Is it like
somehow
is it a
they
story
somehow
where
did
you
it.
have to beat certain people and like?
It's even more than that.
You gotta
There's
Bowser
there's
or-
bosses and challenges and
Petey
like
Piranha is a boss
What?
because he has like giant tennis racket hands, basically. I guess there's one where you have to like destroy these blocks that are basically it's like Breakout or something,
Yep.
but with tennis.
Yep.
So you have to like
Dude.
hit all the blocks.
Points for creativity.
Yeah,
there's
it's
one in
crazy.
a boom engine where there's 2 mirrors, and if you shoot it in one mirror, it comes out the
It's
other
Portal.
mirror.
Yeah, so you have to
basically
like
Portal.
dodge the mirrors as you try and beat the guy.
That is
like,
awesome.
It's
Yeah,
wild.
there's a lot of cool stuff, and the foundational mechanics of tennis are really, really interesting. So
Really?
you have
Let's talk about that a little bit.
You have like 4 different types of shots. So you have a flat shot,
Shot. Go ahead.
Nobody gets that meme. I'm sorry.
It's not a meme.
So you have 4 different types of shots. You got the flat shot or the regular shot. You have a slice, top spin, I think is one of them.
Sure.
Or you can lob the ball. And each of these different types of shots has a counter shot that you must hit the ball back with.
So now how good are you at this game? Like, how
I
many
am-
questions can I ask you and you can answer them
Okay, I
correctly?
played for maybe an hour and a half, 2 hours.
So you don't know anything.
I don't know literally anything.
Okay.
Now, I did try to play 2 online matches. I got completely wrecked by the first guy. Like, I literally
Nice.
didn't score except one time, I think.
Yikes.
The
Jesus.
entire match. But then I kind of kept on par with the second guy, but he still beat me at the end.
Yeah.
So you didn't keep on par with the second.
I mean, I did for the
I
most
see what
part
you mean.
until like the
Yeah.
end. We were like tied. It was a good game. We were tied up.
Yeah.
And you know how in tennis, like you have to
By
score
two.
on somebody
Yeah.
twice,
Yeah,
twice
yeah.
in a row. And we were back and forth. Like we would tie, then I would get a point. Then we would tie, then he would get another point. Then we would tie, and it was back and forth for like 15 minutes before he finally got me.
I almost said that was
Dang.
called
Really?
triple bogey, but that's golf.
That is golf.
Yeah.
Yes. I don't remember. They're called weird names in tennis. I don't
Yeah,
know.
I can't remember any of the names. I only knew him from Mario Tennis on N64, I think, for a
Yeah.
little while. And I think
I
Love
played
is
it on
Zero.
GameCube.
Love.
I think so. I think it's
That's
zero.
the only thing I remember.
But there are also these special abilities that use your energy gauge, which builds
Talk
up
about
over
the
time.
energy gauge, 'cause
Now,
it seems a little. I'm not sure how I feel about that. Now they do have a mode where you don't have the energy gauge.
they do.
right?
They have
Okay.
a bare bones mode with just the different types of shots, and they also have like a Wii Sports
Now,
type mode.
what did you play online? Which mode?
I played the energy mode because I
Okay.
wanted to try out the mechanics and see how they worked. There's one thing called a trick shot that does not use up your energy gauge, but it charges it. Now, the trick shot, you flick the right stick in the direction of the ball, and they like do like a special flipperoo move and like and hit it back. But you have to time it correctly. So like you know in the trailer when Yoshi goes into the egg and like rolls across
Yeah.
the screen, that's one of those.
Those seem extremely good. That does not cost meter
It
at
does
all.
not cost meter; it builds meter. But it's
What?
hard to time.
But yeah, I was about to say there's got to be some aspect of skill to it, right?
They're really hard to time, and if you don't time them correctly, that alarm or the siren is not on your guys' end. Whoever
should
listening to this,
probably just
that's-
stop.
Yeah.
No, it's fine. It's fine.
Wait, is it gone now?
No.
No, it's still there.
It's still
It's still
It's
there.
driving away.
I just don't want anybody to freak out if they're listening to this. Like, is that a siren?
Dude, I hate that when there's like sirens and music, and
Yeah.
I'm like on the road and I keep turning the music down because I think they're gonna. pull
If
me
you're
over.
listening to music with sirens in it, you've already messed up.
Well, I'm not saying
He's a-
every song
he's a
has
thug,
siren.
dude.
Dude, I'm
just
straight out the
saying-
streets,
I'm
dog.
just
Okay,
saying,
I think it's done.
That
Anyway,
has literally
Mario
never
Tennis
happened to me.
Aces,
Okay.
energy meter, trick shots, and all that. Okay, so you have to flick the right stick toward the ball is the easiest way to do it. Or you can like hold left and double tap
But
X or
okay,
something.
here's the
something
thing. Here's
weird.
the thing. So like,
But-
for example, with the Yoshi one,
Yep.
if somebody hits the like they've tricked you, they've got you on one side of the court, they hit it back to the other.
Well,
you
see,
should be dead. You should
No,
lose that point.
That's,
but
that's part of the strategy. You have to stay in the middle, really. That's
right,
part,
no, I
part
get
of
that, but I'm
tennis,
saying
you know what
you've
I mean?
made your mistake already. This thing
Right.
allows you to save yourself without spending any resource.
It does.
That seems a little OP.
But the way it works is if you don't time it correctly and you can hit the ball too late and still hit the ball, but you lose energy for that.
Okay,
Oh.
interesting.
Yes, you have to time it perfectly and you gain energy.
But
Interesting.
you risk losing energy.
Exactly. It's high
Okay.
risk, high reward.
That is very interesting.
Now,
I could see that becoming degenerate at very high levels, though. And
it
people that
probably
don't mess
could.
it up, I could see that
It
just
probably could.
nothing but that all game, and you never ever lose a point.
But maybe.
So
What
okay,
do you
else?
get
Now-
when
else
you
can
get
spend that
energy
with?
like
Yeah.
all
Now,
the way up? What
when-
is it?
You can use, I think, a third of the energy meter to do what's called a zone shot.
Can you hit a fireball with Mario? Can you like put fire on it like you could in like the baseball games?
You're thinking with your tiny peanut brain, Zach.
No.
Let the man speak.
I don't think so. There is a really cool ultra shot with Mario that I'll explain in a minute. I tried his and Yoshi's, which are really cool. I'll explain them in a minute. But the zone shot takes up a little bit of the gauge. And it basically goes in slow motion, first person view, and you're aiming a cursor to where you want to hit the ball. And as you're floating in the air in first person, aiming your thing, your energy meter is slowly going down. So the quicker you aim and shoot, the less energy
Now,
it
does
uses.
this like pause the game on the other person's end?
Yeah,
like,
what does it look like for them?
freeze?
For the other person's end, you're just frozen in the air, but you can still move around.
Okay, but really slowly.
No.
No, the
You
other you're frozen, but the other person can move.
Right.
Okay.
The person shooting the ball is frozen in the air,
Uh huh.
and the opponent can freely move around.
Okay.
But you can't see where they're going to hit the ball in
Right.
any way.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
So they shoot the ball, and it comes out super quick, right? So the defense of that, you could, if you're quick enough, or if they shoot it right at you, you can just move in the way and block it, which has to be perfectly timed. If you don't block it correctly, you lose racket health.
Yeah, what's that? You can destroy
Wow.
people's rackets.
What are the
right?
strategy of this game?
I
Good
know.
grief.
We'll get to that in a second. But the proper defense of a zone shot is a zone something. But it slows down time. I can't remember what it's called. But you hold R, and it slows down time to give you enough time to move to where the ball is being shot, and then you
Does that
can
use
block
energy?
it. It does use energy.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's
That's interesting.
Yeah.
That is interesting.
Now, about the blocking, you have to time it as soon as, like, almost like in Mario and Luigi RPGs, like if you're bouncing on somebody's head, you have to time it as soon as you hit their head or whatever.
Yeah.
It's kind of the same thing. As soon as the ball touches your racket, then you have to hit it. That's how you block it.
So you're like pressing one button
I
to
think
swing and then another button when it hits your racket? or
Any
something?
swing button, the face buttons are the different types of shots.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
can pretty much push anyone.
Okay.
Whichever button hits the ball.
Okay.
you can push.
Okay. Interesting.
I think, as far as I can tell. Now, so if you block it, it doesn't do any damage to your racket. But if you mistime it, if you're too early or too late, it does 1 damage to your racket.
There are so many levels.
And you can
to this.
take 3 damage to your racket. And if your racket completely gets destroyed, you lose.
Now, when
automatically.
does your racket
That's it.
wait lose the game?
Lose? I don't know if it's the
Maybe it's
entire
lose
match.
but lose the game
The
itself.
game, but not
one
the
game.
match.
Right.
That would
I
make
What
think
the
so.
hell?
That is
Yeah.
insane.
So when does your
Yeah.
racket health reset?
I don't know.
Every serve?
At the beginning
know.
of
That's
the,
insane. What on
That-
earth? Can you imagine that happened in real life?
you just bring it. Well, I'm done, I guess.
Oh my god, dude.
Now, there's one more layer to this, the ultimate shot. I think it's called the ultimate shot or
Okay.
something. When your gauge is completely full, you can mash L, and he'll do like a super, it doesn't matter where the ball is in the court, he automatically tracks to it, right?
What?
So like in Mario's case, it uses up all your meter though, so you have no,
How long does it take to build meter?
Depends on how many trick shots you do.
Well, yeah,
Yeah,
but like if you're just a bad guy just smashing the ball.
it builds recently fast if you do a bunch of trick shots, but you'll probably get off 1 or 2 ultimates per match, I think.
Okay.
That's
so that's not too
reasonable.
much.
It's
Yeah,
reasonable. But again, I'm a crappy player, so
Right.
if you're good and hitting every trick
Oh
shot,
yeah,
Ultimate
this,
turn
this game
two.
already sounds like it has a lot of play
But-
to it.
so the ultimate for Mario, he like creates these invisible walls that he wall jumps in between
What?
and like flies over and hits the thing.
Anime.
Now,
Yeah.
now, like the zone shots, you can aim these.
Okay.
So is it any different than a zone shot? How is it different?
It's different in the fact that you don't have to be where the ball is.
Oh, it just teleports you to it.
Yeah, it warps you to the
Okay,
ball.
that's quite good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, the other thing that differentiates it is if your opponent fails to block it correctly, it automatically destroys the racket.
What?
All the health is gone.
100%. Wow.
100%.
So it can just win you a game on the spot.
It can win you a game on the spot.
All
Okay,
right.
what were we talking about?
You're still talking about tennis.
Yes, ultimate shots or whatever. Yoshi's ultimate shot,
Yeah.
like Mario bounces off the walls, Yoshi sprouts wings and flies on like a rainbow
What?
to the ball. This looks really cool.
That's
dude.
cool.
Yeah.
I forget that. Isn't he like actually a dragon of some kind?
He's
Yeah.
a dinosaur or a dragon
Dinosaur
or something,
dragon,
yeah.
It's
I
like a
forget that.
dinosaur / dragon.
I think he's only ever had wings in World, right? Where you can get the wing power up on him.
Yeah, I think so.
So I'm not sure about the lore behind Yoshi.
I really need
We're
to
gonna have to check out the Super Mario Wikipedia on that one. Find out what's going on.
But there is really cool strategies that you can do. Like I remember, for instance,
Is there doubles in this game? I haven't heard anything about doubles at all.
Oh, that would be sick though.
I think there
Can
probably
you
is,
imagine
right?
if you could play
has to be, right?
split screen doubles?
That'd be
Online?
sweet, dude.
That would be
that would be
awesome.
sweet.
That would
yes.
be really cool. Now, there was one instance that really opened my eyes to the depth of this
Okay.
game. When I was playing online, I used my zone shot, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I hit the ball over there, and he slows down time, right?
Okay.
Gets over the ball, hits it back. When I used my zone shot, I used up all my gauge. He did not. So then he
Okay.
zone shotted back, and I had no gauge to slow mo.
See, now I was worried about that. That is smart.
You have to keep
But-
track of how much
Yeah,
gauge
but he
you have and how
he
much
waited
gauge
too
they
long,
have.
right? You waited too long on the zone shot. You used
I,
up all
wa-
your gauge?
I
Yeah.
used up way too much gauge, and if I would have recognized that he has way more than me, I should have waited for
Does
him to
it
zone
does
shot.
it display both energy levels?
It
on
does.
it? Oh, okay.
It does.
See, that's interesting, but there's also ways to stop those without using meter. That other
Right.
defense you're talking about. That's interesting. That's just interesting.
A lot of layers.
There's a lot of layers.
I
like
can't-
an
I would be
onion.
very interested to see what that game looks like in like 2 or 3 months when people
Yeah.
are actually good at it, especially like the meter version of the game versus the no specials.
Yes,
and see
for
how
sure.
they differ. That
I like
sounds
games like this
fascinating.
because it seems like it'd be pretty easy to get into and fun to play on like in a I don't want to say party setting, but like with your friends and stuff. But there's so many layers that you can actually get deep into it and get good at it if you want.
Yeah.
Sounds cool.
And it feels really good too. Like this is the first game that I've ever played that uses the HD rumble. I feel like
Ooh, HD.
it feels real good to hit
What
that
is it?
ball.
Oh, it's just like feedback
It's
when you
just
hit the
tactical, man. Yeah, it feels like you're hitting a tennis ball.
Tactile is
Yeah.
the word you're looking for.
Tactical.
Tactical.
I mean, it's tactical
tennis.
too, but that's not exactly what I was looking for.
Yep, Mario Tennis Aces, tactical
Tactical
tennis.
Tactical tennis
Tactical
gameplay.
tennis. Okay. Woo. So what are we going to be talking about next, guys?
I hate to stick on Nintendo, and I know we talked about it before, but I
Yeah.
gotta talk about that Pokemon.
The
release,
Pokemon,
though.
yes.
Yeah, now that we know
they
a
have
little more detail.
revealed.
Yeah.
You were so right.
I
The
know.
prediction,
called
man.
it.
We
I
got
know.
something right.
I mean, it wasn't all me. I just read what was on the
Shut
internet.
up! Don't
Yeah.
discredit yourself.
I didn't like do research into.
Well,
I don't
but-
have a leaker that's in Nintendo.
Not yet.
My uncle does work at Nintendo. I'm one of those. Guys.
Oh,
Really?
you're one of those guys.
I'm
Okay.
not.
I
No,
was
I'm
about
not.
to say.
You're an
but
idiot,
man.
dude. My uncle works at Nintendo, and I'm going to tell him to beat you up and take you, make Banjo Kazooie.
Man, Justin just he's just so mad. What happened to you in
All
childhood?
right, let's
dude?
talk about Pokemon.
I don't have a Switch. That's the problem.
Yeah, that's it.
It's making
Okay,
me into
Pokemon.
a cranky old man.
Let's go Pikachu and let's go Eevee.
Yes.
First of all,
Yeah.
which version are you getting?
Eevee for sure.
Pikachu.
Amen. I'm
You're
sorry. Jolteon's better than Pikachu anyway, right?
You can't evolve your partner Pokemon.
Yeah.
What? Okay, then I'm
You
going
can
Pikachu, I guess.
evolve. You can
Eevee's
evolve
trash.
the ones you catch in the wild.
Sure.
So if you
But
catch an
not your
Eevee in the
initial.
Why
wild,
can't I not evolve?
because you got to dress him up with the safari
Right.
hats and
Right.
stuff. And
I
they're cute.
can't dress up my Vaporeon?
Could you evolve Pikachu in the original Yellow?
I don't know. I didn't play Yellow. I had Red.
Did you play?
I don't think you.
I
You're
didn't play
probably
it.
right. You
I don't
probably
think. I don't
couldn't.
think you could have. But-
So
That's silly, man.
yeah, it's
not into
definitely
that.
Pikachu for sure.
Why'd they pick
Me
Eevee
neither.
then? Just because that's
Because
what
Eevee's
Gary
like
had
the next
and Yellow?
most popular,
Yeah.
I think. They probably did like some survey.
Eevee is not the next most popular. There's
think
no
so.
way.
I'm pretty
There's no
sure.
way.
Yeah, it's like commonplace Pokemon is Pikachu and then Eevee.
Squirtle, Bulbasaur. There's no way.
I don't know, dude.
I think it's because Gary, your rival in Yellow, had an Eevee.
That's a great point. Yep.
See, I know
Yep.
my Pokemon lore.
Yep.
Nice, man.
Killing
I'm proud
it.
of you. Okay,
So, what do we want to talk about?
all
this
right.
game
I
for?
want to talk about
Talk
what
about
I.
the no random battles, right? That's the number one thing.
Yes, let me get into that. So
Break it down.
I am okay with you not having random battles, right?
Okay.
Walking through the grass, seeing what Pokemon that I think that saves me a little bit of the grind.
Let's talk. Tell people what's going on that haven't seen it.
Okay.
If you have not seen the trailer, what happens is instead of, if you're familiar with normal Pokemon RPGs, you would walk through tall grass and
Yep.
then you would encounter random Pokemon, and sometimes they were tailored for that area. So you can kind of be like, well, I know I need whatever Pokemon, but oh no, there's another Rattata that I've hit like 47 times in this
Yeah.
tall grass. And you kind of use it as a grind to level up some of your Pokemon too. You could also do that. But they're doing away with that in this one. Again, this is not a core Pokemon game, so we're still expecting one in 2019. They said they're going to actually release a core Pokemon RPG
Right.
that we're used to in 2019.
So this is the same canonicity as like Pokemon Pinball.
That's a Michael word. If I ever.
I'm not
Canonicity.
sure if that's a real word or not. I might have just made that up. I don't
Anyway,
know.
back to the battle system for this. So instead of walking around through tall grass and not seeing anything, you can actually see the Pokemon walking around in the tall grass. So you can
Which is
look.
cool.
And, yeah, that's fine. I'm,
It's like
I'm
Chrono
completely
Trigger,
okay
kind
with
of.
that. The only thing that I do not like is when you encounter the Pokemon in the old school ones, or in the core sets, I guess, you would be able to hit them for HP and get them more susceptible to your capture, right?
Right.
You have
And-
to you in them before you kidnap them.
Right,
Basically.
most of the time, yeah.
Just like in real life.
So, so you in this one, it's more like Pokemon Go, where it's more the quality of your
It's
Pokeballs.
kind of like exactly like
Now-
Pokemon Go. Though.
now
Well,
there-
that they have shown it to be exactly, but we don't know. It,
There is
like,
a
if it's-
mechanic in Pokemon Go where you like feed it berries and stuff to like make it nicer to you.
Yeah, but I'm
Okay.
also worried
Which
about
is
like,
kind of like weakening.
do
it.
we know if there's going to be microtransactions in this game?
I feel like it's
I don't know. I never
extremely
thought about that.
unlikely.
Because if you
Are
have
there
to
in
stupid,
Pokemon Go?
Yeah.
yes, like
Oh.
that is how
Yeah.
you like buy. I mean, you get items, but like the way to
I don't
really
imagine
get
there will
so
be because
good-
I feel like I've seen a Pokemart in the trailer, right? The shop that you can
Yeah.
Yeah,
buy
the real
stuff.
money Poke Shop, dude.
yeah, Pokemon here. Link your
Oh.
Nintendo card. And
I don't
you got
think
it.
they would do that. I can't imagine they would
Yeah,
put
I
microtransactions
feel
in
like
it.
the backlash would just be insane
Right.
if they tried to do
Yeah, there's
that.
no
So,
way.
Not
other
to mention,
notable-
Michael would end up sleeping on the floor because he wouldn't have anything in his
Yeah.
house.
I would never spend money on that. I haven't spent a dime on Pokemon Go.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm very against microtransactions.
I don't play Pokemon Go anymore, but apparently you can put the two together. You can catch Pokemon in Pokemon Go. They do transfer into the one on the Switch, but we're not 100% sure if you can play with them yet.
Yeah,
It
it's
said something about a
kind of
Pokemon
unclear.
Park.
Right.
So I don't know if that's just like a place where they're there and you can talk to them.
Pet them and stuff.
Make
That
sweet
would
love to
be
your Charizard.
honestly, that'd be a huge disappointment to me. I would think. Like,
I
what is the
say
point
that's probably
at that
how it's going
point?
to work. Also, does it? I'm not sure how it connects. I heard somewhere they say Bluetooth, but the Switch doesn't have Bluetooth capabilities.
It doesn't.
No,
It doesn't?
no,
Yeah, that's how the Joy-Cons
Yeah, I was gonna
connect.
say how
Via
else do the
Bluetooth.
Joy-Cons work?
it will not. It does not connect to my Bluetooth headphones.
Well, probably not. But
Well, yeah,
I
you
mean,
have to connect
it's a
your
propri-
phone.
It will connect to a proprietary Nintendo brand
Really?
peripheral,
That's so
probably.
stupid. Like if it,
It's a Nintendo, dude.
I know, but if it has Bluetooth capabilities, I should be able to hook whatever Bluetooth device I want to
You
it,
probably should.
You should.
like a phone.
Yes.
But
You should
it's
probably be able to plug an iPhone
proprietary
into it too and like
software
play music
connection.
off of, but you can't do that either.
What? That doesn't make any sense. Why would
Like,
I want to do that?
I used to be able to plug my iPod into my Xbox 360 and play music through the media
Oh
player or
yeah,
whatever.
yeah, and
Just
that's
treats it
great.
like a flash drive. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
But you can't do that on Switch. I don't even think you can do that on
Nintendo's
PS4,
just
can
kind of
you?
behind the curve. No, you can.
You can?
You can use. Well, I'm not sure if you can play music, but you can like download
Anyway,
video
download
clips
files.
out
Long
for
story
recording.
short.
sorry. Anyway,
There is also trainer battles, right? There are
There,
battles.
Yeah,
Yes.
there are battles.
so
It's not
I'm
like
good
it's
with that.
Just
I'm good with
Pokemon
that.
Go.
It looks I like the graphic style they went with it. I'm
Mhm.
still waiting for my Breath of the Wild one, and that better be how the core set is. Or
I don't think it's gonna
no,
be.
It's not gonna be that bad. But what I'm
You've been
kind of
playing
curious.
too much Magic, dude. You're calling it the Pokemon Core set.
It is. It's the core game. That's what they call it.
Yeah.
Justin.
Sure.
Whatever. Well,
That's what they call it.
Here's
Now-
my question, right? How do you balance a Pokemon game where you no
Mhm.
longer have a way for the player to determine what level their Pokemon are going to be? If you can't do random battles,
Yeah,
then
you can't.
apparently you would be subject only to like trainer battles would be the only way to gain experience, right? So
Are they going to
Theoretically.
compensate with
Right, so
a
how
lot
are
of
they-
trainer battles?
Now that's
I
one
don't
way
know.
they could do it. They are also
repeatable
using
trainer battles or something?
apparently the CP is also a factor in this game as well, which is the experience level of Pokemon Go Pokemon.
Mhm.
Now to gain CP, you catch a lot of the same type of Pokemon and kind of dismantle them like you would equipment in an RPG to get
that
materials.
is awful. You ever thought about that?
So
You're
yeah,
just like, no, I got all these EVs.
Just crush up all the EVs.
But that means you don't
Snort 'em.
don't battle to gain experience. You just
No.
do something completely unrelated
now there could be
I don't like that.
to get better at battling. That I don't like that either. Really.
they could incorporate both somehow. And if I remember correctly, I read an article where they don't actually know how they're going to do it yet, which is kind of disturbing.
Yikes.
When is it coming out?
November,
Okay, that's what I thought.
They probably need to figure that out very quickly.
probably so.
Ah, you just throw it in before release.
I'm worried that this is going to be a not Pokemon game, that it's going to be like dressed up like a Pokemon game where you have your four
I'm
little
almost
moves.
certain it's not going to be a Pokemon
It's
game.
not gonna. They've said it's not gonna be.
Yeah.
a Pokemon
But then
game.
what
But that's
is
okay.
it? What the hell is it then?
It's for the Pokemon Go audience that wanted a little bit more out of Pokemon Go.
It is. It is the teat that we will suckle at until we can actually get a Pokemon game for the Switch. It's a good one.
It's you know a lot of people played Pokemon Go that never played video games.
It
in
is
a
their
long time.
it's their transfer from the marketing side. They couldn't release the core Pokemon game this year. So what they're doing is they're saying, look, everyone who started Pokemon with Pokemon Go,
Yeah.
not the people who played it when they were kids,
Right.
people who started with Pokemon Go, and they said, look, this is what we're doing now. Look, you can get even more in depth. Look, you can connect your Pokemon Go to this, and then next year when they release the course, whatever.
I think it's insane to
It's
have
like a bridge
It's
those
crazy to
players.
me to have a game 20 years after your franchise starts that's simpler than the first entry.
Well, the fact that so many people played Pokemon Go means that they have an audience
was
that
more-
didn't play Pokemon,
It was more
and
successful
they need to
than
bridge that gap.
it was more successful than we thought it was.
Is that what happened with Pokemon Go? I thought it was like just all nostalgia. Was it actually people? who
No,
had
there
never
were a
played
lot
Pokemon
of
before they were on it?
yeah. If I've done a little tiny bit of research on it, so I don't have like specifics,
Yeah.
but it seems to me that their audience has grown, and that's if you read some of the articles on the new Let's Go Pikachu or Eevee, yeah, you can see that they're tailoring it to mix the nostalgia of a Pokemon RPG with the newer players who don't.
This sounds like it is
Right.
not for me at all.
Probably not.
Probably
I think
not for
I
you.
no longer have any
It's probably
interest in
not
this
for you.
game.
I'm gonna play it because I want to play Pokemon. So
I do too.
But
I'm gonna
But
play it
it's
because I love
not
Pokemon.
It sounds like it sounds
But
like
it's
It's
still,
enough.
it'll be fun.
it's like a game with
Like-
Pokemon characters that isn't a Pokemon.
it'll be
game.
fun. It'll
but
be
like,
fun.
I'd rather play Pokemon Snap.
When I downloaded Pokemon Go, I had fun with it.
Yeah,
it is a flawed game, but I had fun. And now they're adding so much more to that foundation. It could be fun. It's not exactly the RPG that we want.
I was talking to a guy at work. No, I know nothing about Pokemon Go. He told me there are raids in Pokemon Go.
Yes, there are.
Against legendary Pokemon.
Yeah.
I'm like, what? That doesn't sound like Pokemon to me.
I don't know why you're surprised.
Why would I not be surprised about a raid on a Mewtwo where a bunch of people, a bunch of idiots gather in a park, staring at nothing, at literal nothing, on their phones, swiping to capture a fake Pokemon?
Because it's
like,
fun.
what is happening?
It's fun.
Do you not you remember when it first came out and they literally had to shut down streets in parts of Asia because they were people just
walking around
blindly just going.
It was a phenomenon, dude.
Wonderful culture we're living in today.
Yeah, it was great. It's a great time.
People were dying in car accidents because of Pokemon Go.
Lots of kidnappings. People catching Pokemon and then other people catching people that are catching Pokemon. If you know what I mean?
Dude, I do remember there was this really cool moment when it first came out. I took my longboard.
Speaking of cool moments with kidnapping.
I was just longboarding, and then all of a sudden I was swiping around catching some sweet pokes, man.
Classic segue.
Pretty nice.
Listen.
You're the worst, man.
When Pokemon Go first came out, I took my longboard to the city of Chester. The good old city of Chester. Maybe that's why it reminded me of kidnapping.
Sin City, Chester.
Anyway.
Yeah.
And I was skating around catching Pokemon, and I saw somebody that was on their phone, and I saw they were swiping. I was like, oh my God, he's playing Pokemon Go too. I was like, hey,
brother.
man.
Brother.
You playing Pokemon? He's like, yeah. He's like, there's a Venusaur over there. I was like, what? A Venusaur? I had never seen one up until this point.
In real life.
in real digital VR
know that's
life.
what he was about to say.
And he's like, yeah, just go around behind that building. He's right back there. I was like, oh my God.
And then you ran back there and
so
put you in a van. And
now I'm missing a kidney,
and
but
he
at least I
tried
got
to sell
that
you some
Venusaur.
special candy.
It was a fun moment, man.
Hey,
it was
kids.
a fun moment.
You want a Pikachu?
Because I want a Pikachu.
There you go. That's the pun.
Yes.
All right, I think that's it, right? We're good?
Yeah, we have to
We met our
have to
quota.
stop now.
Yep.
Thank you so much for hanging out with us today.
Really sorry for talking about the same thing every week.
Yeah,
We'll
it's
move on after E3.
It's in the news now. Nintendo is trying to push forward and get in the news. So we are lovers of Nintendo.
Likers.
I like
ambivalent.
Nintendo a lot.
I'm on the level of love, I think.
I think I like them a lot, and Justin's kind of like, eh. But anyway, so sorry that it's kind of taken over our content for right now. But I want you to go to the YouTube channel if you're listening to this, because we're uploading the entire episode. Also, Michael last week just uploaded the first Let's Play that he did with Justin.
We should have
Was
talked
that
about
one word
game.
that you just did? Let's play?
Let's Play. So, what did you guys play?
We played, what did we play? What's the name of the game?
It's Bloodstained Curse of the Moon, right? Curse of the Moon.
Okay, part one.
It's like an 8-bit Castlevania style.
It was cool. I watched
game.
it. Yeah, it was really cool.
It was pretty fun.
It's up at the time of when we're recording this, so it'll be up about a week now.
Yeah.
So go check that out. We'll have more of those. Maybe we'll do some Dauntless gameplay, maybe, since we kind of want to check that out and it's free to play.
Heck yeah.
So just keep go to our YouTube channel and subscribe to get all these sweet videos.
Mm-hmm. Turn them notifications on. That little bell icon, I think.
Smash that like button, guys.
Smash that like
Smash
button.
it.
Really helps me out.
Speaking of Smash, Crash and Smash 2018. Boom.
Crash and smash.
Calling it. I'm going to call it every week until it happens. I know it's going to happen.
All right. Thanks so much for hanging out. We'll see you next time.
Bye-bye.
Ow, God. Dang it. Ow.
That's the perfect ending. So you going,